Hello, children. Good morning. I hope you're eagerly waiting for this political science class or civics class, right? Yeah, we are discussing in civics class that understanding marginalization. So, what's the meaning of marginalized? Means being discriminated or being separated from the original community or the local community. Right, children? In the last class, we have discussed about the Adivasis and stereotyping and also Adivasis and development. How the development took place in the past with the help of Adivasis. We have learned about that concept. And in today's class, we are going to learn about the same concept, that is Adivasis and development and minorities and marginalization. Okay? Minorities and marginalization, Adivasis and development. So let's go. Okay? So, children, Adivasis and development we are continuing today. This is Adivasis are radically contrary to our image of Adivasis today. For example, once we have discussed that Adivasis are powerful in the past because all the empires, all the kingdoms, they depend upon Adivasis for their goods, right? But in today, if you look at the Adivasis, they are being marginalized and they are looking like powerful. So because of their costumes and all, they look outdated, they look backward, and because of the development lacking in development, no, we feel that they are marginalized. They are something different from the of ours, right, children? So, in the past 200 years, children, Adivasis have been increasingly forced through economic changes because forest policies has been made. For the forest policies, children, they're applied by the state and private. State means not state government and the private industries also. So they're forcingly they relocate the people who are living in that forest. So these Adivasis only, they are migrating from one place to another place, like workers, plantation workers, or some people they working at construction sites, or some they working in industries. Like in cities, no, so these people, these Adivasis only, they working as domestic workers, because you all know that these people does not have education and they only know about the forest and forest based products. So because these people they used to get the less kind of cheap jobs, like domestic workers, industries and construction sites, like that. Okay, like menial labor, physical labor, they can do only physical work. Okay, fine. Now, so for the first time in history, they do not control or have much direct access to the forest territories, children. It means because of industrialization of or forest policies, state forest policies, the government replace these people from that place to another place. It may be due to the industrialization, because they need much amount of land for constructing industries, right? And also for minerals, if you want to remove the minerals from the forest, they need to shift the people who are living in that areas to the remaining areas, safest places, right? They promise that they'll give them jobs, or they promise them they'll give them the lands in some other place, but they don't do. That's why for the first time these Adivasis, they lost the control over the forest. Now, migration of the Adivasis, children. From 1830s onwards, Adivasis from Jharkhand and adjoining states, it means nearby areas, they moved in a very large extent, in very large number, to various plantations in India. Tea plantations, coffee plantations are there, no, children. So across the world, this migration is taken place with the help by the Adivasis. For example, especially in India only, these Adivasis, they worked as plantation workers in the tea and coffee plantations. Okay. Likewise, in the world, if you see, Mauritius, Caribbean, and even Australia also, they have their own native Adivasis. They also have taken place. They also have migrated to the plantations to grow in their countries. Okay. And migration of Adivasis, this is one more important thing, is tea industry, children. So in our India, there is a lot of development in tea industry. It is this development took place only, it is possible only with the help of the labor, or with the help of the hardships which are rendered by the Adivasis. So of course the story of the Adivasis is full of extreme hardship, torture, heartbreak and death. Children, they have suffered a lot, those who don't know the other language. For example, we know Telugu and English. So Chinese language, Japanese language, we don't know. But these people know, they live right from their childhood, they live in that forest areas, and they don't know any other language. But to understand them, and that too, their customs and traditions are totally different from the of ours. And they were, they face a lots of hardships. And no, because they're unable to move from that places, native places, no, they were tortured. So, and some people, they died also. So it was a heartbroken story for them, sad story. For example, in 19th century alone, children, 5 lakh Adivasis had perished. It means they died in these migrations, because some people, they don't want to move, they love that place, right? Forests are the native places, they don't want to move from that places, but they were forcibly migrated, means what, they tortured, and they have forcibly migrated. Some people, some they were killed also. Okay. And now, reasons for the migration of Adivasis. So why these Adivasis have migrated? First one is clearing of forests for timber and other products. You know very well, the forests are well endowed with the timber, right? Different variety of timber. Some timber is used with the help of making of paper, but some timber like rosewood, teak, no, they will be very much helpful for making of furniture. So that is why for timber and other products, children, they is to clear the forest. For that purpose, they need to migrate the Adivasis who are living in that areas. Second thing is industrial projects and mining. You know, some of the areas like Jharkhand, they have some dolomite ore is available over there. So in order to extract the dolomite, no, children, they used to forcefully vacate that place by these Adivasis. Okay. Then next, industrial projects also, as you all told, know that industries are set up in the rural areas. So because where the minerals are available, that place the industries they used to set up. That's why this is also one of the case to migrate these Adivasis from that place to another place. The third reason is forceful displacement through land takeovers. Children, you know very well that the Adivasis are weak, and they don't know about the laws of the constitutions, and how to approach the courts to get justice and all. So that's why they used to forcefully displace from the land takeovers. It means from the large businessmen. Okay, na, in order to establish their industries. Second thing is militarization. For example, in the northeastern states, no, children, northeastern states like Assam, Sikkim, those all states, they have military. Okay, now these military, they have to safeguard the country, boundaries of the country. So in order to safeguard the boundaries of the country, sometimes the military also take up some amount of land, okay, from these Adivasis. So in that way, these are the four reasons for the migration of the Adivasis from that locality, from that forest. Okay. Now let's learn about the plight of Adivasis children. What's the meaning of plight? It's nothing but a sad story, a sadness of Adivasis. Why their lives have become like so marginalized or vulnerable. So let's see. Here 45% of tribal groups in rural areas and 35% in the urban areas live below poverty line, children. So why this has been taken place, which we have discussed earlier, that the migrations actually they used to enjoy a very decent life in the forest, but now they were replaced, they were shifted from that place to another place, which they don't know anything about the society and the city culture and everything. So that is why 45% of tribal groups in rural areas and 35% in the urban areas, these tribal people, they live under poverty line because they lost their employment, they lost their riches, they lost their properties, everything. And many tribal children are malnourished. It means undernourished or malnourished children, because they don't even take a proper diet also. That's why they are malnourished. Then literacy rates among the tribal groups also very low, because they don't know what is the education, they don't know our language. So because they don't go to the school, no, that is why the literacy rates also among the tribals are very low. Next, with displacement of their lands, they lose their income. See, not only they lose their income, children, but also they lose their traditions, they lose their customs, and they lose all the way of the living and being. So there is relationships also. So their relationship, their relation, their friends, their grandparents, grandmothers, so all of them they lose because they were displaced. No, they were shifted from that place to some other place. Now they could not follow a decent life which they followed in the in the previous past. Okay. Now you should know some facts which are given in textbook, children. So in India we have 104 national parks. How many national parks? National parks. If you look at the Ranthambore, Jim Corbett, Kaziranga National Park, these are all national parks, children. So these are the national parks which are established to protect the wildlife in such areas. And we also have 553 wildlife sanctuaries. We have how many wildlife sanctuaries, children? 553 sanctuaries. Okay, all over the India. Now we'll discuss about the minorities and marginalization. Children, what do you mean the meaning of minorities? Yes, these are the people who are less in population. What's that? These are the people who are less in population. Let's see some of the minority groups. Who are minorities? So the term minority is used to refer the communities that has numerically small in relation, small in number, okay, to the rest of the population. For example, if you see India, children, it has a lots of number of Hindu population rather than the Muslims, Christians, and even other six people also. I mean, many kind of religions. Okay, you can see that in the graph which is given here. See here, 13 point per something percent by Muslims and 2.3% by the Christians, 1.8% by the Sikhs, and Buddhists 0.3%, 0.5% by somebody else, and others very less. Okay, so in that way we have some kind of percentage of people who are less in population. Now what is the percentage of Hindus in India? You should find it and tell me. Fine. So it is a concept that goes well beyond the numbers. So we are not talking about these are the minorities children, but they're facing the problem beyond their numbers. What problems they're facing? Okay, fine.